Good afternoon, Jack, Salty, Tin Cup, Zeman. How you doing, guys? Welcome in, welcome in. Hey, Southern Cross. How you doing, Chief? Can't stop? Yeah. Not activating that. Yo, Devs. Welcome, TF. How you doing today, Chief? Three hours at work is almost 5 to go. So you can enjoy the weekend. Ah, nice. Oh, I was meant to be on a lot earlier today, but oh my god, I did not have any energy this morning. I went back to bed for like another 3-4 hours. Absolutely zonked for some reason. And I got a good night's sleep as well. It was weird. Evening shifts suck during Fridays. Yeah, I would imagine that would be the case. We're about to watch the Inside Star season. It's going to be good. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Michael TheDarkLaw, and welcome to another episode of The Darkness here on Twitch. It is Friday, chat, 16th September 22, day 121 in a row. My God, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, sorry again, starting a little bit later, just no energy whatsoever to be able to do anything this morning, which kind of sucks. But I feel I've got a bit of energy to do it now, so we'll see how long I can go on for. Well fluided up. Haven't had my cough medicine yet. I might if I start getting a tickly cough, but yeah, we'll see how today goes. I think it's just the like past 2 days of 4 or 5 hour like streams. It's kind of caught up with the body a little bit, so maybe just needed a little bit more recovery this morning to be able to do stuff. But aye. Also, I forgot. I forgot something. Yeah, it's like 3 days. Yeah. So good. So good. Right, yes, I'm good there. Right, so yeah, we've got Inside Star Citizen guys to watch, which looking forward to. I finished off watching the rest of House of Dragon last night as well, so I'm all caught up. It is what it is. Hey Joe, how you doing, Chief? So yes, we're caught up. Right, let me bring it up here. Inside Star Citizen. Woo wee. And over here. Let's fucking roll. Money. Lots of money. Hmm. Whoa, that's fucking cool. Look at that shit. Holy shit. Man, that is fucking crazy. Ooh. It's pretty fucking dope. Like, look at that shit. Whoa. Hey. Holy fuck. That looks good fun, actually. Bullshit. Never lands like that. That's pretty cool. That is damn cool, yeah. Oh, you got to put a wee canister on it. Holy shit! That is dope, man. Fucking Inferno. Hey! That's cool. Shit. That's pretty cool, man. They've done really good. That looks a lot better than I had in my head. Obviously, it's just the basic of salvaging right now, which is just the top part. That's pretty sweet. I like the reclaimer storing stuff. That's cool. Final form. Pretty cool ship. I bet you're somebody that plays with fire. Just mining reskinned? It's not reskinned, dude. It's not at all. I don't know why it's got guns though, like... Again, it seems always so stupid to put like a couple of these size 2s. That's cool. Yeah, wow, that's so dope. It burns pretty fast, but that could just be for the video. Wonder if you could just stand on the top of it while somebody's flying. That would be pretty sweet. Put a couple of railguns on it. Not bad, not bad. Kind of like a caterpillar. Nice. That's kind of cool. R. Yeah, not bad actually. Not bad. So, it's a shame we only get about the salvaging side of it, but whatever, whatever. Looking forward to seeing how this goes. The hand tool will have canisters that you will fill and yeah, just not a magic beam, yeah. It's pretty cool. A pirate scrapper, yeah. I'm interested to see how it all goes. Because obviously this is just the beginning part where you take off like the surface of a ship. I'm more interested in like, can you cut off engines and, you know, sell the actual engine, the weapons, cut off the weapons, store the weapons, you know what I mean? That's, for me, that's the part of salvaging I'm mostly interested in. Is not so much just the scrap metal, it's the, oh, that dude has like M7A cannons. They're like 40k a piece, you know. Can I sell them and get 30k, you know? That would be really, really cool. That is the idea of it in the future? Yeah. I know it's just the first version, but yeah, laser's looking pretty good. That is pretty good. Hopefully we'll see how long, because obviously this is the thing with PES, right? PES goes into 318, which means that technically, a wreckage of a ship doesn't just disappear like it does just now. It should technically lie, like say we're on Daymar, right? And we start shooting loads of ships outside of Shubin. Shubin should technically turn into a scrap site if you had like 20, 30 ships constantly coming. That's the theory, anyway. And that would be really, really fucking cool, actually. Because that means that I can just leave my salvaging team at Shuvin and just keep dragging the dead to Shuvin. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this patch goes. Obviously, like, hopefully we'll get PTU this weekend and stuff like that. Imagine JT. Certainly doesn't. It has the possibilities that we're about to start seeing some proper organic gameplay and stuff like that. Always an option to add serial numbers to components. Yeah, so it's like chop shop kind of stuff where you could recover your components, maybe? Possible? Definitely is going to open up a lot more gameplay that we have just now, which I think is cool. Also, we're going to see Reclaimers being useful. I really like the idea that the Reclaimer has to have... It just doesn't have a couple of people doing the lasers and the pilot. You actually have to then have a couple of people in the back moving the boxes onto the cargo grids and stuff like that. I think that's pretty dope, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be like a 5-6 man crew just to do salvaging on a Reclaimer. So yeah. It sounds like work. Yeah, exactly. But that's again, that's what you want from a Reclaimer, right? You don't just want to be sitting on it going, oh, this gameplay is so good, you know? I quite like the idea that you're having to actually work, you know? I wonder how much money you're going to be able to make out of all of this, you know? And do you need to wait for players to die or NPCs to die? Are you going to be able to go to like a floating scrap site, you know, because again, like around Hurston and places like that, they've got those orbiting junkyards that are full of wrecks of like Idrises and stuff like that. Maybe they'll just randomly spawn ships that you can salvage there, which would be pretty cool. Again, don't have no idea what they actually have planned for all of this. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. The Nine Tails gang, eh? I forgot Arison is on. Hey, Anu, how you doing, Chief? I think I saw a post about there will be server spawned wrecks. That's cool, yeah. Like if there's like missions to go salvaging and stuff, that would make it more interesting. I'm more looking forward to the organic, like, you kill somebody's hammerhead and then you can salvage the hammerhead or an 890 or something like that. That would be pretty cool. I want to see how long it takes to scrape a whole 890 apart and how much money would you actually make. Is it worth your time? You know what I mean? We are definitely going to have to do some deconstruction on the PTU to find out how much time and how much worth it would be to salvage like an 890. So if it's a lot of money, that would be pretty cool. The question is, could it be abused by people though? That's another thing we'll need to test out. How easy is it to abuse salvaging? Doing better? Today was quite a struggle actually, I knew. I woke up today and I was just completely dead on... I got love. Oh, there's Gladius Pirate. Ooh. Oh my god, how many fucking vanguards do I have? Why? Fuck's sake. Yeah, so today was a bit iffy. Didn't have much energy this morning. So I was like, right, okay, I'm sort of feeling a bit better just now. I'll do as much as I can before I have to depart. By the way, somebody used my referral code to get a quad bike, which is amazing. Oh my god, I got them all. I got the blue, the red, the steel, the black. What other ships do I have to play with? Is that it? Do I have a caterpillar? Yeah, I got a caterpillar, there we go. This one's such a meme. The old Hoplite. Probably actually still one of the best drop ships, I would imagine, but because the Vanguard series is so slow, you know. If the Hoplite had the same as the Harbinger, where you could put 2 size 3s to protect it and the turret, that it might actually be really good. I've heard there is a new ship in 318, the Anvil Undo. I doubt it. You got the Corsair, you got the Vulture. Vulture versus Vulture strip mining each other? No, so you can't do that, right? This is the thing that a lot of people need to take into consideration. You have to be a destroyed ship before you can be salvaged. You can't just go up to somebody's ship and start salvaging it. They have to be in the down state, and the down state right now is just a ship exploded. That's all CIG have got round to. Because eventually down the line you're going to be able to actually repair those ships and get them back operational and stuff like that, but that's not anytime soon, right? So you're not going to have 2 vultures looking at each other and firing lasers. The lasers won't do anything, you know? I can guarantee you CIG will not be allowing that. Oh man, I should actually go and get some food and water before I do this. Oh, it'd be so good if you could actually drink in the plane, fighter, whatever. Can't wait for PV missions where you magically get a wreck spawn for you. It'd be kind of cool actually. I'm interested to see to the extent of what the gameplay would be like. Like if you had a mission that's designed for like a reclaimer and multiple people got the same mission, it might cause 2 conflicts, right? E7. Oh, look at that. Magic. Oh, it's a broken elevator. It's one of these ones, is it? Yeah, this is a full scuff one, I think. Full scuffed. Somebody just LinkedIn community sounds so much like PV stuff for the non-combat people. Can get more money by just taking a mission instead of working for it. Yeah, well, whatever, man. At the end of the day, CIG are always gonna test out on people who have got no interest in doing any PvP and stuff like that. Here's the thought of salvage later when T2 or T3 should players be able to salvage Comrays or even Port Olisar? No. I think we start going into a weird point in our game when you start allowing players too much flexibility. Okay, what the fuck? Just jump through the fucking wall. Hopefully we'll see more gameplay around actually being able to hack things for longers and stuff in the future, but no, I don't think you should be able to start salvaging other things. It would cause too much hassle. Like, you can't even do it in EVE Online, so if EVE doesn't allow you to do these things, I don't think Star Citizen should, personally. Salvage the dead, salvage wrecks, that's it, right. Immersion, I don't give a fuck about immersion, dude. Oh my god, there's Captain Jack Sparrow outside my hangar. Crazy. You know there'll be people that moan about, oh my god, why can't I salvage this? Fuck off. So look at this. Right. Yeah, that's fine. Again, you don't really want to force PvP on people in this game. All you do is just make it where eventually down the line, if you're wanting to make more money, you will have to go into more dangerous places. And that's it, you know? Just like an Elite Dangerous, EVE, all these things. That's what Stanton's all about. Like, Stanton is pretty much just an Empire kind of space area where you go, you do the basics of the game, but if you actually want to make the real money, you'll have to go into dangerous areas to get it. I'm cool with that, personally. Not everyone wants to get absolutely curb stomped. What do you think of those Solar Wind skins? They look alright, actually. Yeah, they look alright. Can't complain on it. I kind of wish there was an arrow one, but I guess for whatever reason, CIG can't do arrow skins. So, meh. Meh. Need to go and quickly grab some cough medicine in a bit. Where's my arrow skin? I know. I don't know why it's so difficult for CIG to do arrow skins. I don't get it. People are already complaining that the pirate cutlass skin only works for the black. Fuck me, man. I swear to God, every single person that moans like that must have a 1-inch dick. And that's at fully erect as well. Fucking small PP gang, like, holy fuck. You gotta have a dick that size to fucking complain about something so pathetic, right? But yeah, then there are the fucking Muppets that get killed and they're red and they're like, oh, but I'm just a cutlass red, you shouldn't be shooting me. Well, why have you got a pirate skin on? Because I like the look of the pirate skin, oh! Fuck off. Ugh. These fucking gamers piss me off royally. So feeble, unathletic. Why buy skins anyway? Well, maybe you want to buy them with your money, you know, stuff like that, but it's stupid to think that you would put a fucking pirate skin on a blue, you know? That's some people for you. Haven't you heard that Age is the new pirate hat, not Drake? Well, technically Drake is not pirate either, diffs, right? Drake is not pirate either. They just supply to everyone. That's the difference. So whilst Aegis and Anvil don't supply to every sort of faction stuff, Drake don't give a shit about that. That does not make Drake pirate. It just means that they don't care enough to reject business offers, you know? And that's all it is. That's why you see more piratey Drake stuff, because it's easier for them to get a hold of it. Everyone fly with pirate skins. I mean, it's so sad that people care about something like that, but, you know, whatever. Whatever. I think they should just leave it. No joke, I think they should just leave it where you can only fit on the Cutlass black just to piss off the community. I would do that, CIG. I wouldn't give in to these little feeble fucking unathletic kids that were never picked for sports day. Their parents were too unathletic to do fucking three-legged race together. Egg and spoon race was no challenge, you know? Because they just super glued the egg to the spoon. That's those kind of parents, right? Don't give in to them, CIG. Make them go fucking, you have to be criminal 5 to be able to use that skin. That's how I would make it. I would make it where you can't fit that skin on your ship unless you're criminal 5. And the moment you lose it, you lose the skin as well, and you've got to rebuy it with more money. Every time you lose your criminal 5, you have to rebuy that skin. You know? That's how I would punish the community. For their feebleness. What is Parish on the new stainless steel paint for Gladius? I think they're more to... Those ones, Air Arrow, are more to match the NPCs. The NPCs have like a kind of red-black skin for Ninetales. Maybe this is just like another version that they've made. Well, again, it could all change down the line. Zaman, you know, you've got to take into consideration that eventually we might see them actually having certain ships in lore that match factions and stuff like that. You know, we have no idea what they're actually going to do with their faction wars, especially when we get Pyro and Nyx, and all these places have their own criminal faction bubbles and stuff like that. They may have a completely different structure for it for the future, and you just don't really care about it just now because you only have one solar system and not really any areas that people would, you know, class as Ninetales kind of thing. I quite like the skins. I like how CIG are doing metallic skins now, like the Gladius Festival skin is really good. This other one, the Gladius one for the Wind or Silver Wind, whatever it's fucking called, looks pretty cool as well. I really like the idea that they're starting to add a bit more metallic to skins I would also like to go as far as where you have like reflective or reactive paint as well, where in certain lights it'll show as different colors. Even if you go into the Hot Wheels kind of territory as well, where down the line you could be on like a cold planet and your ship's skin looks completely different, and when you go to a hot planet it's another color, you know? So like when you're on a cold planet it's like green or purple, when you go to like a hot planet it's like red and orange and stuff. That would be pretty cool actually. If they had those kind of, I can't remember what the paint is called that we do that changes in temperature. Is it color shift? I'm trying to remember what we put them on our cars these days, and obviously it started off with Hot Wheels where they had the ability to, like, you would put your Hot Wheel car in a hot hair dryer and it would change color and stuff like that. That would be sick, man. Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing how salvaging is going to be for the future. I hope they don't make it where you make far too much money from the missions, because that's the thing that broke PvP bounties as well. CIG have this real fucking problem of overtuning PvE than PvP, right? Like, I'm all up for PvE missions, but you should never make more money from PvE than PvP in a video game. I don't give a fuck what an athletic twat says, oh no, it should be the other way around. Fuck off, alright? If you are actually having to risk something, you should be getting more money out of it in any game. Thermochromic paint? Maybe if that's the name of it. I can't remember what they're called. That would be my biggest concern with salvaging, is that they do the same thing where you can go and just chain salvaging missions, chain bounty hunting missions, change cargo missions, and there's no reason to ever do anything risky in this game because the safe route is just the most profitable way. And it is right now. Like, if you want to make money, just do NPC bounties at Hurston and you can make so much money without any risk whatsoever. It's kind of sad. It's the same as if you go criminal as well. When you're in Eclipse, go to Hurston, you make so much more money faster than Crusader. And CIG have a real big problem of setting this up. In the past 2 years they've done this. Player-to-player bounty missions should be at least 3 times the amount of money that you make from NPC missions, I feel. Because you're having to do way more work, right? Crime doesn't pay. Crime actually does pay a shit ton of money right now, Zaman, if you do it right. Like, I can make about 250k in half an hour if I do it right. Most bounty hunters are whack. Well, again, most bounty hunters don't bother to actually play the game because, again, PvE makes more money than PvP. So I'm saying it's backwards, this game. Every time you risk something in this game, for some reason CIG want to make it fucking easy for somebody who doesn't want to do any criminal activity. And make it harder for people that actually want to enforce policing and bounty hunting and stuff like that. It's like, why the fuck would you chase after somebody for like 35k when you can go and kill 2 NPCs, get double that money in like 10 minutes, you know? That's what upsets me the most. And I don't think it'll change for Pyro personally. It will only ever change when the developers are not such fucking pussies, like. Oh, we want PvP, but we're gonna make it so fucking filthy casual that everyone can get involved. Nah, it shouldn't be like that, sorry. If you die in PvP, you should lose your modules, as far as I'm concerned. You have to go and re-buy them. Like it used to be. It was a lot of fun when that happened. PvP should be hardcore, like that. Make it where when you kill a player, all like their weapons drop, and when you salvage their ships and you get their modules, they don't get it back. That would be a great way to up the scale of PvP. Hopefully we'll get stuff like this. It's amazing how Star Citizen used to be pretty hardcore when it came to PvP, and then it just got fucking nerfed into the ground because people just didn't want to actually have to spend some time and play, you know? Fucking crazy, like. Yeah, but that's only if they get caught in PvP diffs, right? That's what I'm saying. There's more risk, right? Add in more risk, make it where people have to learn, you know? That's all I'm saying. Just gotta get a big ship and ram you. I actually think they should remove ramming from this game and make it like EVE Online where you bounce off each other. It still becomes a valid tactic where you bounce into somebody to maybe knock out their ability to warp away and stuff. But then you stop getting the pad ramming and stuff like that. EVE did it a really good way, I feel. A very, very good way. And it's strange how CIG always like put their twist on things, and it's like a no thought like just doesn't feel like they actually think about it at all. Miners already have to rebuy the modules at the moment. If they lose the ship, they don't get the modules back. The consumables and stuff like that you talking about. Yeah. I kind of wish there was stuff like that for combat as well, where I could like inject my engine to have like better frontal speed. You know? That would be kind of cool. Customize it that way. Maybe if you want your guns to be able to shoot a few more shots or something like that, use a consumable like that. You gotta kind of choose where you want to go with it, right? That would be interesting. Oh, by the way, I got a delivery note from Monster Tech, so it'll be next Friday when we get the plate for the throttle. I thought it was going to be like this week, maybe start of next week, but it's at the end of next week it's going to be. So I can't do the throttle mounting until then, sadly. Hey Matrix, how you doing, Chief? I need an arrow with a quantum dampener. That's the real bounty hunter ship. That would actually be pretty cool. But obviously it would have to be a very small range dampener. You know? Have to be a small range. I mean, 2 and a bit is not that bad actually. Yeah. Well then, what would be the sacrifice though? Ugh. What would be the sacrifice? Because obviously you couldn't have an arrow that stops people from warping away. You would have to lose something for it. The dogs are doing well, thank you, Matrix. I'm okay. Still recovering from COVID, so... Like, there would have to be something that you would have to maybe do, you know, maybe turn off your shields. And I know we're gonna laugh about this, Anu, but turn off your shields to maybe have enough power to run the QED or something like that, you know? There would have to be a drawback, because an arrow with a QED with its weaponry system would be very, very powerful, I think, you know? If they actually did that, you know? Yeah, I've had COVID for over a week, and I've not taken a day off either. I've been streaming every single day. Every single day. I mean, they could make a weapon system. Yeah, the blue is just stupid, though. You know what I mean? You've got to remember that the QED that spins around is the snare, right? The thing that stops people. A dampener can be just simply a module that sits inside the ship and creates a field. So the only way I could see it working on like a smaller ship, like an Arrow or a Hawk, for example, is you would have to sacrifice the Hawk's EMP for a QED, right? Which is fair. And that would be a dampener. You wouldn't be able to do a snare because, again, the snare is what transforms on a mantis. But then you're going to have to sacrifice something on an arrow to be able to equip that. So I personally feel it would be better if they made it where it was a weapon system, which means that you would have one size 3, 2 size 1s, and you would have this QED weapon, which you fire, and it stops people from being able to charge their quantum drive. That would be fine for me, you know? Yeah, I've streamed every single day, even with COVID, Matrix. I didn't let it stop me. Arrow 2, size 3, and dampener on the turret placing? Yeah, that would work, actually. Yeah. That would work, because then you're sacrificing, obviously, the output damage of, like, was it like 1 size 3 and a bit for that? Yeah, that'd be cool. I still would love to have a 2-seater Arrow, Anu, and you sacrifice the top turret for that capability. Because they could easily make it where the Rio seat on the Arrow would have like advanced radar suite. You literally take the turret off, put a radar dish on it on top of it, and because you don't have the components for the turret there, you put a co-seat behind, which easily fits, by the way, because look at that. There is so much space for a co-seat right here, because it's just weird, fucked up metal that they can get rid of, right? And make it where you have a combat Rio seat. For dogfighting skill, well, you could have it for dogfighting skill, but also, like, we need more ships that allow, like, a Rio. Which means that you can have it where, like, you could carry advanced missiles, knowing that the Rio is going to fire them, right? Better radar capabilities, because you're sacrificing your 2 top guns for somebody else in a chair that can tell you what the fuck is going on, and other things, right? Again, I think it would be really, really fucking cool to have that in more ships. But definitely for a 2-seater Arrow to train people in dogfighting or flight movement in general would be fucking sick, man. I keep asking for a 2-seater fighter. Everyone's like, oh no, just use the 85X. It's like, yep. Because you even suggest the 85X tells me that you have no fucking Scooby-Doo what is required. Let's train jet fighters in fucking Cessnas. Yeah, that's probably about the same mentality as people that would suggest an 85X. By the way, I would trade the turret for whatever fancy module Sig put in, but mostly a dampener. Yeah. I would as well. Like, I generally feel that the arrow has way too much damage, personally. It's the same with the Gladius. I think all light fighters should only be able to carry size 2 weapons. That's it. Light fighters carrying size 3 is just fucking stupid. Because it's only one extra magazine to kill a light fighter with that setup. And you get better recharge, all these things. You just can't clap bigger ships like they're fucking nothing, right? So the biggest problem with this game is that CIG have made light fighters have far too much weapon power for no reason. They don't need it. And if people go, oh, I don't like that, then fucking fly a Hornet and let's see how well you do, right? Because it's always the same thing. It's like, oh, I want my agility, I want my speed, I also want my fucking size 3 damage and my 2 shield tank Gladius. Plus the ability to have 16 missiles, you know? It's so sad how fighters have got way too much on them. And that's the biggest issue with fighters in this game. CIG have no fucking Scooby-Doo how to set them up. And that's why other ships are just useless now, like the Hornet and stuff like that. It's not because they're fucking shit at flying, that's a simple fix. It's the fact that why would you ever fly them? Oh, they've got an extra couple of guns, whoop-de-fucking-do. They don't have the capacitor to fire them. When the Santokai comes out, you watch everyone jump into a Santokai. 4 size 3s with the ability to move like a car to all. Yeah, why would you ever fly anything else after that, right? Oh, and it's got missiles. Sorry. It's got missiles, it's got 4 size 3s, and it's got the ability to move like a car to all. Yeah. There is no need for any other fighter the moment that thing comes out, sadly. Because again, CIG made this shit built around too much power. It should have never been offered with size 3 fucking guns. It should have been size 2. Nothing that is agile and fast should ever have more than size 2 weaponry. Or make it lose a shield. Make the Gladius and the Blade lose a shield. And they get to keep their weapons, if that's the case. But personally, I think they should just nerf the weapons. Make it where it's size 2. Car to all, you know, needs a bit of fucking work, and the easiest way to do it is just make it where it's got more logical weaponry system on it. Nobody will be flying the car to all the moment the Santokai comes out. End of year, next year kind of situation. Nobody will be. How the fuck are you gonna fly a car to all when you can have literally the Santokai? Better profile, most likely faster, tankier, way more damage, long range capability with missiles. Yeah. People will be complaining about that ship, I can guarantee you, when it comes out. Because I don't think CIG have thought clearly about that one. Meant to be a medium. even though it's the size of a light. It's meant to be a medium because of how much weaponry it can fire. The Corsair will be okay, but you've also got to remember that without gunners, it's nothing, right, Koff? Because it's got such a fucking big profile. It's so easy to hit. So, and especially as most of its damage is frontal for the pilot, and it's not exactly going to be the easiest of ships to just turn round, you know, so... It's like any multi-crew ship. They're good to a certain degree, but if you don't have a couple of gunners protecting you, these things are just going to drop so easy. Especially when we get more and more of the bigger ships, like the Perseus, the Nautilus, you know, stuff like that. Then when we get the bigger fighters, you've got the F8s that will come out eventually. The Vandal rework. Once the Vandal rework comes in and they're actually useful again, I mean, fucking 2 size 5 cannons on a fighter platform is absolutely nuts. If they bring out the Stinger has a size 6 cannon on the front of it with turret to protect it, lots of missiles. Yeah, your Corsair is going to fucking disappear, your 600i is going to disappear, your Cutlass is going to disappear, your Connie is going to disappear, because again, the biggest problem with this game is fighters generally have way too much power. Yeah, but one Buccaneer ain't doing fuck all diffs. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem with this game. You can have a mole, right? You could have a mole fully fucking mining out of its mind, and you can have 10 fighters protecting it. I can guarantee I can kill your mole with me and Fresh before you will ever kill us in a fighter with your 10 fighters. Guaranteed. Fighters can't protect shit in this game. If somebody wants to kill your ship, they will kill your ship without losing, you know? Fighters do not protect a fucking thing in this game. It is just merely a distraction. And if you don't get distracted by it, you know, it doesn't matter. Literally last jump town, me, Fresh, and Puppeteer are flying around in eclipses, and this whole 15-man fleet couldn't stop us from nuking all their shit. Everything was just disappearing. 3-4 Hercules is fucking gone, Vanguard's gone, Connie's gone, fucking Cutlass is gone. They're all like that. What's going on? What the fuck? Where's our air support? Mythologist is like, the fucking Aether's overpowered! You know what I mean? It's just like, you can't stop. There's no way to stop the rock coming, you know? It's just not possible. You can be the best fucking security. It's the same like for Daymar Rally, right? You know, the security team does a decent enough job, but they ain't stopping anyone, right? You get on that server for Daymar Rally, you can nuke the whole fucking course, and there's not a goddamn thing that fucking some unathletic flight team are gonna fucking be able to do about it, right? Every time it happens, they don't prevent shit. And it's gonna get worse. Like, Daymar Rally will get to a point where, you know, you're better off hiring or paying the criminals not to attack than anything else. Because when server meshing comes in, your little light force just gets absolutely wrecked by the more dominant group. And that's just facts of the game. It's the same as EVE Online. You think you're fucking big and strong behind your numbers, but you're fucking nothing, man. Absolutely nothing. Again, that day where me and Puppeteer, 2 arrows, there's literally 40 people on the field fighting, and they couldn't do a fucking thing to stop me and Puppeteer killing 8 people. 40 ships on the field, And they couldn't do a fucking thing to stop us from killing people. Because we just kept disappearing into the crowd and stuff like that. And it's just what happens with guerrilla warfare. If you have people specialize in that sort of area, you can be the best sweats ever. You ain't stopping people from killing somebody inside a distraction. When a razor can kill 3 vanguards and a hammerhead, it's bad. Yeah, but you can't kill fast with a razor, right? You've only got 2 weapon systems. So it depends on what you're looking at, you know, is bad. I look at it that if a razor kills 3 vanguards and a fucking hammerhead, I think the people that it's killed should just uninstall the game. Because clearly they don't understand what the fuck is going on. It was like that day where me and Fresh are that organization were hiding their light fighters beside their hammerhead, thinking it was funny, and we're just killing them continuously. They're like, oh, if I hide under our hammerhead, we're gonna be safe, and they're dead, you know? They kept flying back. We killed so many of them. Never lost any ship. And that's the factor of Star Citizen that people don't realize. Hey Ostrich, how you doing, Chief? If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, it doesn't matter how many people you've got, you will not stop pain coming from people that specialize in dealing with that kind of stuff. And we see it a lot. We see it a lot where you have all these people in their fancy fucking ships and they can't do a goddamn thing from getting curb stomped. And it's not because, like, me and my guys are better at PvP, it's just strategy always wins in these games. Having a mind that is open to things like that is how you win battles. Not by your numbers, not about who can fucking shoot better than the other team, but if you spot these things. Well, that's what they were doing. Cough most of the time. They were literally hiding underneath their hammerhead thinking they were safe, and we just killed them. One day I tried to kill an NPC hammerhead with the razor, and I took 3 days off work. Yeah, it's not exactly the easiest thing. Dogfighting PvP and SE is easy to learn, hard to master. The biggest thing is you see a lot of people going into Arena Commander and they make the biggest mistakes. But they learn to do 1v1 and then they're like, oh, I'll kill this person. It's like, oh, well now there's 3 of them shooting at me. Guys, I need help. Oh, you said you got it, you know what I mean? You never ever play this game with the mentality of 1v1. Even if you're good at 1v1, it's never 1v1 in this game. And coordinated teams will always beat people in this game. You can be the best organization, best PvPers, but if you have 0 team play, you're fucked. Absolutely fucked. And we see it all the time. Like, there's times where me and Fresh, right? Me and Fresh have been engaged in a group of people, and they're fucking solid PvPers. Like, there's nothing to disrespect them on. They're solid PvPers, and they get fucking ruffle stomped by me and Fresh. Not because we're better, just our fucking team play is better. Ooh, unlimited power. Thank you very much for the 19 months, Ondo. Appreciate that, dude. And that's a huge factor of it, because when people go into Arena Commander and they spend a lot of time 1v1ing, when they come in and they fight certain people in the PU, they're like, I can't deal with this, because I've trained to be fast and effective at killing 1v1, but nobody gives a fuck about 1v1 in this game. There's so much more, yeah. Because you can't 1v1 somebody fast enough before the second person kills you. That's just how Star Citizen is right now. You can be the best 1v1er, but if you're up against two people that know what they're doing, if the first person who you're trying to kill is survivable enough to last for a few more seconds, you won't kill them before the other person does enough damage onto you. Even when you got 2v2, again, it's very much where if you don't have the coordination within the two players, it doesn't matter, like. When we see Law and Fresh coming, our top pilots go, we're fucked. We're at least... Let's at least try to kill Fresh. Fuck's sake. Yeah, always go for Fresh. He likes it. I wonder why, you know. It's funny, there's been times where me and Fresh have gone into battle and everyone has gone after me because it's like, oh, there's DarkLaw, the streamer. And they chase after me and Fresh is just killing them. I'm like, how you doing, Fresh? He's like, yeah, I'm 1v1. Yep, now he's dead. I'm like, and then Fresh goes, how are you doing? I'm like, I was like 3 or 4 people chasing after me. That's fine, no biggie, right? He's like, do you need help? No. And I'm like, just keep doing your thing, Fresh. Keep doing your thing. And I'm just going around and around. Fucking Benny Hill music on as they're like, get DarkLaw, get him, fucking kill him. Fresh is just like, 1v1, 1v1, 1v1. That's it. And then they don't realize that they've lost like half their fleet. And I'm still just flying around going, wee, like this. It's so funny, man. And then they're like, fucking DarkLaw's a cheater. All he does is run. It's like, yeah, but you just lost your whole fleet because you're not fucking sensible enough to see what the fuck's going on. It's crazy, man. Like, there was times where we're up against, like, German organizations and they send everyone after me. It's like, I literally... This is why I'm not good at 1v1, because I specialize in being the bait. Where you don't kill me as easy as everyone else. Good old tunnel vision? Yeah, they do get into it, like... It's even better if everyone's but 2 are dead and then you decide to turn and fight, yeah. Once I know that I can deal with like 1 or 2 people, then it changes. One would say you're a masturbator. No, again, I've spent so many years now where people just chase after me that I've just got more accustomed to doing that sort of role. But the thing is, if people don't change me, this is the worst part about it. If you don't chase me, you then have me where I don't need to worry about fucking outflying somebody, and I do have a fucking disgustingly beamy aim when I don't have to fly. So when I play support, I'm always beaming the target down. Because I don't need to worry about, like, actual defensive flying at that stage, so... Running is cheating. A lot of people do complain, like... I've seen it in so many other content creators' channels when they're like, they're chasing after me and somebody will type, oh, don't bother chasing after DarkLaw, he's just going to run and never die. It's like... Yeah, that's actually how you're meant to play the game, you fucking muppet. You're not meant to just go into battle and die in a fire and go, oh, well, I tried my hardest, you know? That's a fucking loser's attitude right there. And you see it all the time, man. Oh, don't bother shooting DarkLaw. He's either going to kill you or he's going to run away. Yeah, that's the point of the game, you fucking dipshit. I don't get into, like, I don't go into a dark alley, right? And 3 dudes jump out and I go, oh yeah, fucking easy peasy, 3 versus 1, bruh. Let's fucking do this, right? I've been shake waiting my whole life. Wait a minute, guys. Just let me get a fucking warm-up before we go to fucking town, you know? No, you fucking leg it. You fucking leg it. You don't turn around and go, you know what I mean? It's the same thing in any video game, you know? We have the same shit in Sea of Thieves. Oh, you're running? No, I'm respawning and looking for my advantage. Exactly. You know? For some reason, a lot of people think that you're just meant to go into a fight and just die in a fire and hope for the best, like. And I don't understand it. When I watch people warp away, I have more respect for somebody that warps away. Like, so they challenge me, they realize that I might have a higher level of skill than they do, and they warp away. I look at that as a smart fucking play. Because that person survives, can go off and do other things, but in the future, if you were to die in Star Citizen, you're not going to just be able to just get your ship back like you do just now. In the future of this game, you won't be getting it back like this. The more you lose it, the more time will be added to insurances and yada yada yada, you know? This is very, very casual gameplay right now. And I always look at it with that mentality, is that I've played EVE Online so much that the moment you die in EVE Online, it's not getting another ship, another fit, and getting back into the battle. It's because it takes fucking half an hour to get back into the battle. Right now, we only have one solar system, where if somebody dies, they can generally be back into the fight in 10 minutes, right? Especially if you're fighting outside Grimhex. People just spawn at Grimhex and keep coming back into the fight, even though you've killed them over and over and over again, and because you haven't died, you've not had to rearm and stuff like that. And then it's the battle of attrition, right? Even though you've killed their whole fleet once, they keep coming back, and you are overwhelmed at that stage because you're not getting a time to resupply. So you warp away, and then they type, haha, we made you warp away. It's like, but you just lost 8 fucking ships, you dipshits. Do you not realize that? We have had to warp away because we are out of fuel, out of missiles, out of countermeasures, but you've lost 8 ships in the process of it, and you're just coming back continuously. And this will change in the future of Star Citizen. You will not just be getting back into the fight, hoping that you can fucking turn it around. You will be losing. Simple as that. Chasing TDL will teach you playing the game. If people want to get good, you should understand it. Exactly. Because my biggest worry, right, is I could go and do a fucking Rocky montage, right? I could go away, no COVID, spend 6 months on an alt account, not stream, and fight Anu and absolutely wipe the floor, right? Just as an example. But in that same process, doing that kind of stuff, as I've only learned to defeat one person. And in the future, it's not so much defeating Anu, right, as an example. Anu could have 5 Anus with him, or her, whatever, right? So for me, my mentality is, I don't care about the beating 1v1 or 2v1 sort of situation. I look at it that I want to be good at analyzing, yeah, this is well out of my fucking pay grade. I am going to try everything as I can to fly around, get to a carrier, get to a hot drop spot, get the fuck out of here, because I'm being chased by a group of people that are, even if I manage to kill 1 or 2 of them, I'm still going to lose this fight. I'm going to lose my ship. I'm going to lose whatever I have on board. So my gameplay, my mentality is survival. If I can't defeat somebody with a good 90% chance of doing it, I will run away, because it's more important to me to survive and bait people into other things. Like, for example, I'll bait people into circle fighting, and then I've got fucking Fresh coming in, and they're like, oh, there was that day, another day, I wasn't streaming, and this guy chased after me. You could tell he was a sweaty arena commander pilot, fucking full attritions, literally overshooting, you know, getting frustrated with the turn circles, and Puppeteer, right? As he's chasing after me, I got him where this is the Gladius sweat, fell in behind my arrow, and literally Puppeteer, I had brought them round in a circle where then Puppeteer's like this. The guy flew past Puppeteer like that. Puppeteer fell in and just fucking vaporized the guy. And he's like, oh shit! Where the fuck did this come from? And he tries to fucking tri-chord up into fucking Narnia. At this stage, he's already too late. He's too dead. You know? And it's just like, it's such a blatant bait. You're going round and around in a circle and you fly past another ship. You gotta take into account that that other ship is going to start shooting at you, you know? And it happens all the time because people are so hyper-focused. Sorry, guys. On that one kill. That one pip, you know? You see them chasing after the pip and they don't realize what the fuck is going on. We've had a few times on this show. It doesn't happen all the time. But you take people into a hard two-circle low fight and they smash off the ground because they're so focused on chasing your pip that they don't realize that you're increasing their G amount, increasing their speed, increasing their upstrafe, and they're losing their afterburner, that when they push that turn, they just fucking smash into the ground because they're so hyper-focused on a pip. And this is where, for me, again, I don't care about 1v1ing. I don't care about being the best PvPer. I like to be the best strategist or survivalist, whatever you want to call it. I have no problem dragging people around. Generally, I will only ever die if I let you kill me. I once hunted a guy to Kara, and he was fully crewed, 890 jump, and they blew up my cutty, but I got out and killed them all. They were going to clear the crime stat and they got mad. Yeah, a lot of people do that. A lot of people hide behind their HP, right? For me, I would love it where I could be like flying around, bait people, and then have them warp into like a carrier and be on board the carrier or something like that, and then people would be like, fuck, how do we deal with this shit as it warps away, you know what I mean? I look forward to the day that we get like the Idris and stuff like that. Because you know people won't be prepared for it. They'll be like, oh, chasing DarkLaw and Stanton or Pyro, and then suddenly it's like, alright, he's warped here, let's go there. Oh, there's a Kraken, or there's an Idris. Oh, there's DarkLaw warped away in a capital ship. It's like, fuck, well, we should have brought up Mantis, but even then we wouldn't have been able to do much, you know? I just can't wait for those scenarios to go down, because right now it's either warp around the OM points or go to Grim Hex and change server. I don't like doing that. There's so many more cool things that we can do, but it's just like, yeah, swarm mentality is very difficult to achieve, especially if people are constantly firing missiles. Trying to rearm is a bit of a pain in the ass. I still think they need to incorporate more decoys somehow. But yeah, that's very true, Koff. People are too used to just respawning. And that's what makes, like, when you see a bounty hunter alt F4, that, like, I'm sorry, but you've got to be a really shit player if you are alt F4ing as a blue bounty hunter. Because you're losing your ship anyway, right? And you're saving your fucking armor that means absolutely nothing. Just go into a situation where you're buying cheap armor and, like, I just don't get it personally. It's the same when criminals alt F4 and stuff. You're losing everything apart from your armor. Your armor is not important in this game. And if it's subscriber flare, then stop using fucking subscriber flare until you get better at the game. Switch to another 30k server. Like, it's just, oh, I can't wait for alt F4ing to go from both sides. Like, I can understand it being very pissing off to proper bounty hunters where they lose their target, you know, stuff like that. There's been times where, for example, I've been on the servers, somebody has been chasing after me, right? And I leave the server because, again, we're like, what, 1 hour and a half on this server or something like that. Nobody's coming after me, so I do this, right? And now somebody on their stream goes, fucking DarkLaw alt F4'd, and it's like, no, it's just, there's fucking nothing going on the server, you know what I mean? This is where server meshing has to come into play, where I'm not bored, I'm not having to go and look for a fucking another server and stuff like that, right? And you're not wasting your time chasing after me for me to swap server to try and find some more action. Because again, if somebody's over like at Microtech or ArtCorp and it takes them like 15 minutes to cross, How am I meant to know somebody's coming, right? The game doesn't tell you these things. Which really, really sucks. I'm gonna go and get some cough medicine, guys. I'll be back in 2 minutes. That's not bad. That's 4 o'clock for the first time to take medicine today. So it's definitely improving slightly. Oh, I'll be so glad when all of this is finished. In the lockdown event? Nah. These events just bore the crap out of me. Orison is a PvE event, and the lockdown one is so laggy. It's just not worth my time. It really isn't. Soon we can kill ships and use them for repair. Yep. Again, I still maintain we've got about a year to wait before the game feels a lot more organic all the time. Sadly.
Welcome to the Aesop.
Once they've got rid of Volta Foreign, server meshing's added in, and you don't have to keep bouncing servers, and you can sort of just play the game as I think it's intended, or one would assume how it's intended, that's when Star Citizen will feel so much better. Until then, yeah, sadly, it is very much just hit and miss. Sometimes you can have a really good server, sometimes you can have a really, really bad server. Nothing's going on, stuff like that. These events don't help either. Ooh, Jesus Christ, look at this. What the fuck? Alright, guys. Now we gotta play the fucking round and round, the Narnia. I'm an expert in navigating Narnia. Oh, it was 6, wasn't it? Yeah. Professional Narnia. If you ever get lost, yeah, Crystal Maze. That's it. What was his name? Was it something O'Brien? Michael O'Brien, maybe? I can't remember who the guy in Crystal Maze was called. The bald guy who's a bit of a lunatic. That was a good show, like, I did enjoy that. Do a crystal maze. This will be interesting if I can just make this one work correctly. I've watched so many people freak out about lifts where they're like, this just ruins all my gameplay. It's like, no, you just have to be a little bit clever. See what I mean? You just gotta be a little bit clever to get around Grim Hex. You gotta be like one of those children in the Matrix where you gotta remember that there is no spoon. Or the spoon is bending around you. Or whatever the fuck it says, you know? Richard O'Brien, that's it. Yeah, Richard O'Brien. He had a little panpipe kind of thing. However, one thing that apparently in 3.18 they've fixed shield holes, which will be really good. I will be so happy if I can actually engage somebody without losing HP in my arrow. beforehand. Love the way he was like, well, he's fucked, let's move on. Yeah. Yeah, Richard O'Brien was pretty cool. Apparently. The good thing is we should be able to up our kill amount and salvaging amount in free 18, because I have a feeling there'll be a lot more people going to these derelict sites on Daymar. So again, maybe if we go with Mantis, because you'll be able to actually interdict around these things because they're not standards, and then destroy them and then have a salvaging team ready to go for it and see how much money you can actually make off it. Like, not from missions, but legit criminal scraping, whatever you want to call it. Definitely gameplay I would love to see how much money we can make out of it. And the cave as well. That's another thing got to take into consideration. We actually have sand caves now, which look pretty cool. With his bounty, I can buy a Ferrari. There was one day, one patch, where I never let anyone kill me, Anu, right? I purposely made it where, like, if I couldn't beat you, you just couldn't catch me. That was it. Wouldn't let anyone kill me. And I think we got up to 500 plus kills and stuff like that. Now, if you think about it, 500 plus kills without going to prison, it feels silly to me that my bounty would be the same as a normal Crime 5, right? And this is not to brag about or anything, it's just me playing the game, surviving as much as I can. CIG need to make it where if you hit Crime 5, every time you kill another player, another NPC, the bounty goes up by 1k. To the point where you go onto a server, mesh, and you see DarkLaw bounty, Crime 5, 500k, and you're like, I want that bounty. Not because of the money. Not because of the money, because at that stage nobody gives a shit about 500k, right? And this is where CIG need to get this into their mentality, that people are not going to go out of their way and do this gameplay loop to fake kill people to have like a thing. It's more of a reputation thing. I don't want to lose my bounty because it's a high criminal bounty. And the players coming after me don't give a shit about the 500k to a million or anything like that. It's the reasoning behind it. To actually go, I fucking killed DarkLaw, who had survived hundreds of bounty hunters for a month, and I finally got him. That is the chase, right? And we just don't have this in this game. There's no chase. It's just clout hunting, which is so shit. There needs to be a way where CIG can reward people with taking down big bounty hunters and stuff. Not just because of the money, but the fact that you're actually getting the super clout, you know? A kill board or something like that would definitely make it so much better. Because when somebody's like, oh yeah, I died to such and such, and they're like, look, I killed this person. Really high criminal, you can see it here. And this is one thing that Eve did really well, was the kill board. It allowed you to have that EP kind of stuff where you're like, I actually got that bounty, and this was a long chase. It took me a couple of weeks to get the guy. He was very crafty, he's very smart, he worked with a team, you know, but I finally managed to do it. And this has to happen in Star Citizen. Because it's so boring when you're like, oh look, there's just a Crime 5, and the Crime 5 could be a much higher killer than CIG make out on. It's the same with like Crime Free and stuff, you know? They need to make it where Crime 5 afterwards, like the story after Crime 5 goes up. Maybe make it where you can only beat Crime 5 if you do PvP. PvE doesn't go past Crime Free, for example. Unless it's like certain things. I don't know, so again, spitballing on here. Kill mails as trophies, yeah, exactly. Like, I would love it if actually players drop their dog tags, right? Because you can make it where it's a virtual dog tag. It creates its own sort of algorithm and does its stuff, but you take my dog tags and on the time that you get the dog tags, it says TheDarkLaw was Crime 5 and he killed like 2,000 players, you know? And you've got that where you can put that on your fucking board and be like, look at that shit, bruh. I may have got 500k for it, but I've got the dog tags that proves there and then, you know? And then when I respawn, it starts recreating the other, like, you know what I mean? I don't think it would be difficult to implement that stuff. And again, it would give it a reason where, for example, if a known bounty hunter comes after me and I kill them, I take their dog tags as well as my trophy. Where I can go, look, I got that bounty hunter that was trying to get me for all this time. And it was a stale match for a period of time. There you go. That to me is way more worth it than hundreds and millions in UEC that nobody really gives a shit about. And you could do it with mining as well, you know? Mining could be the same thing where... Sorry guys. You have it where the more mining rocks that you break without destroying your ship and stuff, your dog tags or your stats can tell people this. So when you're hiring somebody, you're like, holy shit, this dude has done a lot of mining, a lot of salvaging, never once lost their ship from pirates and stuff like that, makes a huge amount of money. Yeah, you're welcome to join my organization. You seem like somebody that knows what they're fucking doing. You can't get that in this game right now. You could in EVE. You could tell somebody's like level of competence by a kill board and the fact that if they hadn't jumped organizations, or it was called corporations in EVE, where anytime that you went to a different guild, basically, a different corporation, it cut your history. So whenever I was recruiting people for my group, and I'd be like, you've been in 20 corporations in the last year, I'm not taking you. Oh, but I'm a really good pilot. I don't give a fuck. Your show info literally shows that you're not loyal. I don't give a shit how good you are as a player. You're not a loyal player. You abandon ship the moment it starts getting hard. And you don't have that ability in Star Citizen right now. You've got people that disappear and join so many organizations because they're looking for something that doesn't exist in the game yet. And it's why for me, like you know, all the guys in my organization, yes, they might have alts. Those alts might be in other organizations. They might be in other organizations. You can't ever tell somebody's true loyalty. But the difference we have is that whilst they're in QQOP, they are only in QQOP. And that's the only loyalty I look for within people, where I don't want to form a team on somebody that is literally going to go, you know what, this isn't the organization for me, I'm going to go and do other things. It's like, yeah, well, go and do the other things now kind of deal, but if you're in this way, you have these sort of rules. And it's not for everyone, it's why we always have such short numbers. Because nobody actually wants to be loyal to people right now. They just want to fucking talk the talk, but they won't walk the walk. Or they get bored with Star Citizen, go and play other things, you know? She knows today. Spy warfare? Spy warfare will become something in the future, you know? It will become something. But right now, until CIG actually allow you to build outposts and have locations and stuff like that, there's nothing to fight over, right? Nobody cares that if you're camping Grim Hex or Port Olisar or anything like that, you know, or Shubin, Jump Tower. Nobody cares because eventually you can't protect it all the time, right? However, if you have your own outpost to protect, then you have something to lose. Then you have an asset that's worth taking. Stealing somebody's ship or armor and stuff like that is fun to a certain degree, but it's tiny asset farming, right? You're wanting the good stuff. Somebody has spent months building an outpost. You know, they're making a lot of money from their ore or their trading area or however CIG do it, and you take something of that, you know, and you have a fight for it. You might lose money, you might lose your assets in the process of it, but it's a good old war, you know? These things in EVE were so much fun. You could either come out on top where you know, if you're a better team, strategize better and plan better, you win the war, you make all the money back and even more so, or you lose. And you have to run away, come back another day, you know? It was great fun, man. And if you kept on losing, obviously you were part of a group that had a very bad reputation and not being worth backing, basically. So many cool things in that game. I really hope it gets added into Star Citizen, where we have the economy warfare, the asset warfare between two organizations on an alliance or something like that. It makes it really juicy for gameplay. As long as obviously CIG make it where only if you're wanting to get into something like this. Make it where, for example, you can build an outpost anywhere, but if you're wanting the good stuff, you have to go into no man's land. No law kind of zone to be able to do something like that. That's what makes it interesting. That way people can do their own thing, and people like me only go after the good stuff and not bother with lower tier. Certainly, I hope in 3.18 we see this changed. This thing here. They showed it off not this week's video of Inside Star Citizen, but last week's video. They showed the Daymar stuff where the Valkyrie was actually landed in like a facility, and there was like a rock, or it's not a rock, a mule and stuff like that. I hope it changes, because I really want these settlements here to feel like they're more alive. And I know this is very basic, this is what they've had for many years, these little can things, but it's so boring, right? Like, it'd be so dope if you had like a big pit here for landing a bigger ship, and then you went through tunnels into a little village, and then there was like a landing pad around here, and there was some settlement flags up here, and you know what I mean? It just feels a little bit more alive than what we have right now. These things are cool, it's just, they're just so fucking meh. Like, we've had them for so many years now. They do look promising, yeah. Hey, Novi. How you doing, big floof? I'll see you a bit later on, Chief. I don't know if I've got enough energy. I will attempt to. Don't worry. Don't worry, big wiggly tail. It's very quiet as it is. Just be a bit more patient, pup. Be patient, pup. Here's your big tail. Here's your big tail, big bum. Wiggly wiggly. Good boy. It's been difficult for Nova. Like, Definitely, once I'm out of COVID, we're gonna have to bust the bike out, get him exercised. Because he's not had as much exercise as he should be doing, but I just don't have any energy to take him anywhere. Lots of people are angry at SC Live right now. Why? Why are they angry at SC Live? Let's tune in. Why are they angry?
Then we take that into the cloud and open it up for whatever 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 players. That's always where you get another chunk of new things we haven't anticipated. And like all to manage all of that,
No,
it's already a giant beast.
that
So
won't
everything
access, that won't sort it.
for later.
Pez doesn't deal with Alt F4.
Is in my books a good thing.
Pez is only a persistent system.
We don't want to like absolutely ruin your experience.
Like assets, basically. Bottles,
So I think
ships,
even though
and
the
stuff like
feature
that.
might be limited on this first version. Ultimately, you
We
can
already
still
have the
go
basics
as
where
it
if
was,
somebody Alt F4s right now, their ship doesn't
unstable
disappear.
patch
The problem is
you
Pez
can
won't stop a
support
player
for like
disappearing.
2,
That's
3
down to
patches,
meshing for that.
until we get live, and also helps us obviously to bring it faster into your hands, right? As you know, we rely so heavy on you guys to play our game and be our beta tester, which is amazing, by the way. But in order to
Where's the anger?
benefit from that, we need
As
to push things out.
people didn't understand how Pez was intended to work from the beginning, and now that's been explained. They're raging because it's some, it's not some magic system. I know, like, I don't ever like to fucking say I told you so kind of stuff, but I made the comment like at the start of the year when Pez was being talked about, and I said most people are going to be too dumb as shit to understand what this system does. And yeah, I'm pretty sure if they're raging about it, that just proves it. Like, Pez is very, very basic. Very basic. And it actually massively helps this game out, but it's not going to be the instant fix that everyone is looking for in certain things. It seemed people thought that if you placed a weapon down on a planet, it would be there in any server you went, and it would just, on which would just be ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. It's never that. It's the same with server meshing. Like, people seem to think that we're all going to be part of, like, one server. But I guarantee you that most people don't realize there's going to be an NA region, there's going to be an EU region, and there's going to be a Pacific region for Australia players and stuff like that. And you're going to be able to go on to any one of those things, but whatever you do on EU does not carry over to Australia. What you do on EU does not carry over to America, by the way. And I don't think many people know about this, right? And CIG have explained it, that this is how it's going to be, but I guarantee you that most people haven't fucking listened to a word CIG have said. And they're going to be like, why can't I go and play with my American friends? You can, but why can't all my stuff carry over from EU? Because it's a different fucking region, you plonkers. When you go and play World of Warcraft, you have to server swap and stuff like that to move all your assets over. There's no difference in Star Citizen. The difference is that right now is they have allowed you to get away with it for so long because there's no assets in play. There's nothing. There's no data. Your infantry system is virtual. It's about to become physical. That's a huge amount of fucking data to be stored in magical places that people have no idea about. And you're going to see people freak the fuck out when this happens. Oh, I've spent 10 hours on an EU server. Why is my progression not carrying over to NA? Because it's a different fucking server. Right? Watch this. It's going to be so juicy. There will be shards which have multiple servers within, and Pez will exist within a few servers within a shard, not across shards. Yeah, exactly. Like, again, a lot of people don't realize that when CIG move over to the shard system, a shard can hold like 1,000 players plus, right? And it's not 1,000 players in Stanton. It's like you'll have it where you're on Daymar and there could be 30, 40 people on Daymar at one time, and then you go to Yella, there's 30, 40 people on Yella, and there's 100 people at Grim X or something like that, you know, depending on how they actually allow the instances to work and stuff. And again, long as you're on that region, on that shard, you know, if I place my ship down here, I'm gonna come back to it, right? Because you're not going to be going to the menu and swapping server like you do right now. That is changing in this game. When you go back to the fucking menu here, it will be join Star Citizen or quit the game or go into options or however they have. It's not, you'll pick your region, right? But it won't be where you keep having to change over to dedicated servers. You're just going to be part of a region and it will put you in and on a shard. And then it'll take into account the people in your friends list and stuff like that, and maybe you have the ability to cross-merge yourself over in the future. Sorry guys. And stuff like that. But I think a lot of people just have no idea the extent of the tech involved in this game. When you have physicalized cargo, because right now cargo is virtual. When you land your ship at a station, it's virtual, right? When you have your inventory system, it's virtual. There's no assets involved in it. It's still the old Matrix system where you can just fucking armor appears from nowhere, right? Because you pull the virtual asset out and it becomes a physical asset, and that's how much data is being stored on the server right now, is when you bring it across. It's the same how sometimes the game lags when you bring out a bottle and you place a bottle and stuff like that, because the server fucking shits the bed. It doesn't realize what's going on. This was where Pez will buffer that to a certain degree, which allows it to perform better. And it means that also, like, say for example, I go and place 10 water bottles down on the ground right now, and I leave the game for a week, and I come back to my same location, the bottles should be there unless somebody's touched them. That's what Pez does. Doesn't mean that it copies over to every single server. The amount of data required for that would be insane. Oh, but we got Amazon servers. That doesn't mean shit all, man. Data is still data. Like, Star Citizen or CIG don't make enough money to fucking rent servers that have, you know, fucking YouTube space, right? Because YouTube space is disgustingly big. Exactly, Diffs, exactly. That's the biggest thing. Have these people never played an MMO? Because I have never played there's only one MMO that has ever had it where everything is on one server, one world, one shard, one lore, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and that's EVE Online. Because there was only one universe. But CIG are going to have regions, just like in any other MMO. You go and join an MMO for EU and they'll be like EU Central, EU West, EU South, EU fucking North, or whatever. And when you go to these servers and you go to another server, you got to start a brand new character over again. How the fuck do people not realize this was going to happen in Star Citizen? Why do they think that the amount of data is going to be anything different? Like, this fucking game has so much data, it's not even funny. Because everything is going to be physicalized, which kind of sucks, but everyone wants their immersion at the same time, you know? The main issue right now is, I think, the lack of ability to ensure you return to the same server you were previously on. Yeah, but those things take time, right? You can't just assume that CIG have the magic code to fucking make you always guarantee go back onto the same server. There might be reasons why, like, one, the server fucking 30Ks. and it shits the bed, and maybe the replication layer doesn't fucking replicate it correctly. Ugh, fuck me. Biggest example of mega servers and sharding that I know of is ESO. They got 3 mega servers, and every region and town is full of shards. Yeah, you might get it to that level in Star Citizen, but we're talking about so many assets that's not even funny. The server took a vote and they voted on not letting you back in. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Again, I've said this many times. I genuinely feel that about 40% of backers will actually quit Star Citizen before this game actually comes out, because I think I genuinely believe they've bought into this game being strapped to some fucking copium tank that some fucking idiot in their organization said, oh yeah, we're eventually going to be able to grow crops and wheat, and you're going to be able to transfer those crops to someone else around the world with nobody interfering with you because there'll be a PvP slider. Oh, and it's going to be great, you know, Chris Roberts, our savior, will save us all, and for $45 you'll be able to do all of this, and yeah, you know what I mean? I genuinely believe there's a lot of people like that have no idea what they've bought in this game. And they're just so far up their own assholes, it's not even funny. Like, literally, they've got their mother, fist, asshole, and it's like a meat kebab spinning them the fuck around. And they're like that, whee! Going around and around on a fist. That's their gameplay. That's how I feel it is. It's about the mentality that they can handle, you know? $45 per ride. People are asking stuff like Pez will help. Pez ain't helping 30Ks. That's not what it's designed to do. You're always going to have 30Ks. Servers are always going to crash in Star Citizen. The difference is, eventually down the line, you won't know it's happened, because you'll be automatically server transferred over to a different shard or plate, whatever they decide to go with in their technology. Fucking help 30Ks. We barely get any 30Ks as it is. The only time we ever get a 30K is if something makes it through PTU, you know? Will Ped stop players from Alt F4ing? Oh my god. Fucking dumbasses, like. No joke. I genuinely believe that CIG, if somebody asks a question like that in chat, they should source out whoever owns that account and delete the account. Even if they spent $50,000. Just be like, look, take this advice, fuck off. Because obviously you're never going to understand this game. Just go now before it gets too painful for you. Thank you for your money, but we're taking our account back and you're not getting a refund. That's it. Fuck off. I was watching Salty Mike and his chat was raging over saying it wasn't clear from the start. It's been very clear from the start. It's just people are fucking dumb. That's it. Sorry. Sorry if that comes across as harsh. It's very easy to understand, and I don't even have a degree in fucking servers and stuff like that. They literally put it out in a highly detailed fucking video last year at CitizenCon that literally showed you what they were going to do. Now, if you don't understand what replication means, you know, and the word layer and fucking, you know, PES and stuff like that, which is a short for, was it persistent entitled server something or whatever the fuck. Even I can't remember, you know. If you can't watch these videos and understand, I genuinely don't think you have the IQ to play Star Citizen. And I would highly suggest maybe like, you know, Hello Kitty Online, something like that. Animal Crossing. There's many games that you can wrap yourself in bubble wrap and play, you know? Yeah. No joke, that is definitely the case, Diffs. Like, Salty Mike's community is definitely the 4chan of Star Citizen. That's a given. I think he would even be happy with that. You know, if you were like to say, yeah, Salty Mike literally has all the the fucking 4chan players. I think he would be happy with that. I don't understand, but I know what my money pyramid scheme is. Yeah, exactly. Persistent entitled server. Yeah, yeah. Animal Crossing is such an immersive MMO. Again, it's just so silly. Like, when you buy Star Citizen for $45, what fucking chasing the dragon heroin are you taking? Like, when you're lying back in your bedroom and you've made a purchase to play Star Citizen, who's providing you with the fucking heroin to chase the dragon? Because that's what it feels like to me most of the time with players and what they're entitled, or they think they're entitled to in this game. Or community. Hey, Borkin. Thank you very much for the brand new sub, Chief. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, I generally feel that they are on some sort of weird fucking drug-induced Disneyland ride, and it's almost like they don't understand plain English, you know? No, you won't get ads with subs. You shouldn't do, anyway. I have it all set where you shouldn't get. But just in case as well, guys, there's the announcement there. I do appreciate when people watch ads. It does help with paying the bills of full-time content creator, so I appreciate it. I don't have pre-rolls anymore. So when you join the channel, you shouldn't get hit by ads, I believe. I'm just happy to own a ship and fly it around in space. The fact that this game had bunkers was a delightful bonus. I think generally, when I backed this game, Ogre, I was happy for the whole space. That's what we were going to get. Space, kind of flying around. And that's cool, right? But ever since CIG started doing major work to planets, where they started looking way better than they first came out, and then we got the cloud tech, we got, I mean, you look at it there, right? You know, you started getting this. I slowly moved away from caring about space combat, space traveling and stuff, to more about, the only time I would see the space part of it is traveling between planets and moons. For me, atmosphere is way more important, and CIG are spending a lot of time and resources on upgrading atmosphere stuff. You can see it in 3.18. Daymar's getting sand caves, more derelicts, you know, outpost locations and stuff being added in and stuff like that. CIG want you to go and spend all your time on in the atmosphere, on the ground, doing all these things, and to be honest, I'm all for it. Because space to me is pretty dull, actually. So yeah, when we get like the ability to build our own outposts and stuff like that, I can't wait for it, man. Not that I will do it, but I can't wait to see people actually construct locations, you know? First 3 years of following the game, I was like everyone else, angry with delays and patience, but once they started pushing out what they have, realized, yeah, exactly. I mean, no joke, right? If you're somebody who has just started backing Star Citizen and you actually go and watch what this game looked like 3 years ago, you would be amazed at the changes from the graphics, the textures, the FPS gone up and all these things. Nobody can ever turn around and say CIG are not improving on this game. It just takes time. This is not something that they can just copy from another company. It takes time for them to do their own things, and that's where a lot of people for some reason have never been around. When a game like Diablo 3 was 12 years to develop. 12 years, and they already had Diablo 2. But they had to redo everything for Diablo 3, and then it took 6 years after that, 4 to 6 years, to actually get the game good, in a good state. If you want a game that is paving the way, you have to wait for it. You can't just expect somebody to fucking fix these things. Like, no offense to Galifear, but Galifear put out a tweet a few days ago, literally having what felt like an entitlement cry over lifts being fixed, and I sent him a message saying, look dude, I've spoken to the team, it's being fixed, but it's not something that's easy to fix. And he's like, that's not an excuse. And it's like, that is a fucking excuse. It's not like somebody can go, I've fixed the fucking lifts. If it's completely out of whack, you have to give them time to fix it. A developer just doesn't go look at the fucking code and goes, oh yes, I'm super fucking intelligent, I can analyze why this has happened, you know what I mean? No, you can actually, if it was Prime, I can't switch my subscription because the initial one was with Prime. Do I need to wait for the Prime to end? Have you changed from a Prime to a paid one, Anu? If that's the case, I think you have to wait for the Prime to end before you can do anything with it. It's just registered that you're going to be spending the dollars per month, I think. Again, I'm not 100% sure, so... But this is a factor that even content creators that have been part of this game really need to take a step back and calm the fuck down when it comes to Star Citizen development. I can't switch to 120 month sub. It does not let me do that. Ooh. That will be because of Prime, I think. Yeah. Yeah, if the Prime is still active, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Also, I don't think you can sub to 120 months. You mean 12 months. Dude, I don't know if I'm going to be here for 10 years. I appreciate the offer, but I generally don't think I'll be alive in 10 years. I love TDL, make 120 option. That would be some fine support, yeah. But the annoying thing is, though, I wouldn't get that money, right? Whenever people buy, like, 12 months of sub, I don't get the money straight away. I only get it once per month, which is crazy, like... They actually make it where it doesn't allow you to, like, advance pay people and stuff. But I appreciate it anyway. You really do. Sea of Thieves was really bad in the beginning. Yeah, Sea of Thieves, No Man's Sky, like, all dreadful games. And over time, they've become one of the best games to play. Sea of Thieves is, again, more expansion. No Man's Sky is doing absolutely fucking crazy stuff. You know? Yeah, we're getting botted, I think. I'm just gonna pause alerts, by the way, guys, for the time being. We've got the old bots coming in. Yeah, there's a huge amount of people in the community that just don't have the patience, you know, for Star Citizen. And it's something that you just have to get used to. Again, I put my own fault at the start of this year. I was getting really cranky with Star Citizen. I took 60 days off. I didn't stream Star Citizen. I didn't play for 60 days. My low flying got fucked. My PvP got fucked. I literally let myself go. I went and played another game. But when I came back, I felt so much more relaxed because I actually stood back, fucked my own face, and was like, shit, you know, I need to stop moaning about things that are completely out of my power. And I'm not willing to go and get a fucking degree in computer coding to change any of this, you know? And now we're on day 121 in a row of streaming Star Citizen, and I actually feel more calmer than I have ever done in Star Citizen. Because, again, I'm getting to see the changes firsthand, and for me, it just, again, it's more of that sort of, like, challenge zen ride or something like that, clearing my mind on it. And I think a lot of people need to get into the same sort of situation where if you don't have the patience for Star Citizen and it's really affecting you, go and do something else for a few months. Star Citizen's still going to be here. It's still going to be developing, it's still going to be buggy, it's still going to be whatever, you know? But you can go and play another game and feel better about yourself and detox, you know? It's like, oh, but my PvP will slack. Who cares? PvP is not exactly difficult to get into this game. You just need to give yourself like 3 to 6 months of practice and that's it. But it's so much better if you do it. Because I generally feel that PES and some of these other things are going to make this game a lot harder for people to deal with. And again, you just gotta be relaxed, you know, have some nice tea, relax out. Shared a video about Fallout 76 in your DMs about the PvE community destroyed PvP in 76 and turned to no one play the game. Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing. Like, right, so for me, when it comes to Star Citizen, I am all for somebody that doesn't want to do PvP, right? But PvP needs to always be the highest thought thing in Star Citizen, because if you don't have PvP, you will eventually kill this game. Because any sandbox MMO game where there is no conflict, people get very, very bored very, very fast. Because once you've done all the PvE content, there's nothing for you to do. It's the same when people play World of Warcraft. They go and play World of Warcraft, they get everything on one character, then they restart and start doing it again on another character, and another character, and another character, and then eventually get to the point where they've done everything so much that they wait for the next content and they go and play another game in the time being. You don't want that in Star Citizen. You don't want people to go and play another game unless obviously they really want to. And the easiest way to do it is have conflict and PvP in Star Citizen, but put it into an area where it's away from people that don't want to be part of it, right? But the people that don't want to be part of conflict and risk versus reward can't keep getting these missions that pay more than the conflict. And that's what we have right now. And that's one of CIG's biggest mistakes when it comes to building stuff for Star Citizen, is that they keep catering for people that have no interest in PvP. And they keep giving you better missions and stuff like that, which is fair enough, but they need to tone it down. There has to be a reason why you go and start doing a risk versus reward system in a video game, and you should always be paid more for risking things. There should be this lovely, soft core, casual player bubble where everyone can do things and they get to just have a great time. But they can't go fucking super duper, I've bought every single ship in the game with no conflict. And that's what you have right now, is you can go and do NPC missions and Siege of Orison, sit there drooling with your face across the keyboard, and you make so much money that you can buy all the ships in the game with pretty ease, you know, no hardship. That's the wrong way of doing it, because the moment that you make the game easy like that, again, people get bored and they go and play other games, and you don't want that. Bethesda shafted PvP themselves, the legendaries were just out of whack, and again, yeah. It's very difficult to do PvP. The easiest way I always find with PvP is make it where you're not forced to do PvP. You have to go to these areas to PvP, but you get the risk versus reward, you know? And that's all that CIG has to do. Make it where there's lots of content for people, but say for example you're doing a bounty mission versus an NPC, you do not make more money off an NPC killing a hammerhead with one torpedo than you do a player that takes you like double the time to chase after and stuff like that. That's not a good system. That's a bad system. Yeah, exactly, Grizzar. I'm pretty sure the moment that we get Pyro and Nyx, the hardcore PvP will be moved into one of these systems, and Stanton will be a much more relaxing, new player friendly kind of solar system. Everyone's panicking about it just now, where they're like, oh, we're always going to have people ramming us at stations and stuff in Stanton. It's like, no. Again, you've got to remember that we have one solar system. We've got 100 players compacted into this one solar system, and Stanton is a very small solar system. The moment that CIG have the ability to have Pyro, Nyx, Odin, fucking Stanton, Terra, whatever they add in, they can be like, we're going to put the PvP war zone over here. This is where you're going to get all that juicy rewards, and we're going to make this the brand new player starter area that's more casual based minded, you know, stuff like that. And then we're gonna have Vandal Space that is literally, you better make sure you've got a whole tub of Vaseline up your ass crack, because it's going to get very sweaty, you know. That's all that CIG has to do. Right now they don't do this because it would be really bad to have it all in one solar system. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with them holding off on all the hardcore gameplay for when we have different solar systems. I don't need it right now. The only thing I miss is the ability to activate Jump Town at any given time. And that was the good thing about original Jump Town, was it was always on. It was always somewhere to go. Did you have to go to Jump Town? No. You wanted to make money, you wanted to make fast money, you went to Jump Town. It was not forcing you to go there. And that's where the new Jump Town system is meant to be like that, but you're also meant to, it's meant to be where the server does the dynamic stuff, where you do certain missions and you activate the Jump Town on that area and stuff like that, you know? Because you're meant to actually be able to have Jump Town at multiple locations on at the same time. So you could have Yella and Microtech running at the same time. It just depends who does the missions in the area and stuff like that. We just don't have that available because we don't have Tony Zervek's what's it called? Quantinia, whatever the fuck it's called. The AI system that works all these things. And I'll be looking for, yeah, Quanta, thank you for that. I look forward to when we actually get that. Because the biggest thing for me is I dislike the idea that we can't activate these events when we want, right? We have to wait for a CIG employee to put it through a schedule. And I just don't, like, that just doesn't feel like a dynamic event to me at all, personally. Dynamic event should be where it's activated because of doing something in the game for a reason, yada yada yada, not because somebody goes run script, you know. And this is where I kind of wish that they would just leave Jump Town on all the time at Yella and that's it. Then it would be so good, right? If you wanted a lot of resources, then you'd have a workshop, but PvPers... Alright, Anu. Take care, dude. Thank you for being here. I was watching a streamer yesterday spend about 30 minutes just chasing bounty. The reward for that kind of effort just isn't worth it. Yeah, because again, for some reason, CIG have made it where PvE pays better than PvP. And because of that, you've now got people Alt F4ing, because it's easier to just Alt F4 and go to another server and be like, fuck you to the bounty hunter. Or like in the occasions that I've had where a bounty hunter's come after me, it's losing the fight and it Alt F4s during combat. It's just like, you came for me. I'm the one that goes to prison if I lose this fight. If you lose the fight, you just reclaim your ship. And it's like, and if you really care about your armor from subscriber gear, you know, it's just like, it's so sad, man. It's so sad. And this all needs to change as well, but I don't think we're going to get that anytime soon. Like, I know that the Alt F4ing is a big factor on a lot of people's minds, but it's something that CIG has to create, and they have been creating something. I don't think we'll have it for free 18, but it looks very possible. Like for free 19, we might get it. But free 19 is meant to go into PTU at the end of this year, and it won't go to live until Q1 next year, which means, yeah. I mean, to be fair, like if free 19 comes out on PTU and it's open to everyone, I will uninstall live, to be honest. I just don't see any point in going on free 18 live when there's like 3 months of free 19 PTU. PES will solve Alt F4 in? No. It's a completely different thing. Like, I don't know the full technicality with PES, but I can tell you right now, it has no effect on people Alt F4. And that is a completely different thing. That will be on controlling somebody from hopping servers, you know. Not assets. Just watched SC Live and they were talking about they will be looking to fix the Alt F4 with some sort of log off timer and it won't be in free 18. Totally. Yeah, well, we already have an Alt timer. If people don't realize that when you Alt F4, you're always losing your ship when you Alt F4, by the way. And right now, it used to be when somebody Alt F4'd, that ship would disappear. And in free 17.2, they no longer disappear. They just sit hovering in the sky. The player disappears from the ship, obviously, whoever Alt F4's. And that will be where an aggression timer is being created. So just like as it was in EVE Online, is when I do this, and I hit you, that would activate aggression timer. Now we have it for bounty hunting already in this game, where if you attack somebody and they crash into the ground, if they have done that within a period of time, it counts as a bounty hunt claim. And it will be the same thing for Alt F4, where if I lock a missile, I shoot at you, I hit you, for maybe if you're within that 10-15 minute mark of that happening, if you Alt F4, your character stays in game, your ship stays in game, and I get to do my wicked way with you because of that happening. And that's if you are criminal or if you're blue, neutral, whatever, right? And this is what they'll be adding in very shortly. And this is where a lot of people who do Alt F4ing don't realize that they're making themselves into bad habits, where the moment CIG corrects it, and they will correct it because they have to, because it's becoming such a problem, you're scuffed. You're going to lose your subscriber gear, and you're not going to be able, eventually down the line, you're not going to be able to reset your account. This is something that a lot of people also don't realize, is that eventually they will take away the reset button. You will not be able to reset your account very soon. I would imagine by the end of next year, it'll be gone, okay? So anyone that has this mentality of, oh, I've lost my subscriber gear, I'll just wipe my account and restart again, or reset my account, not wipe, sorry, and I'll just get my armors back. You won't be able to do this in the future. You're going to have to accept that you just should not care about these things as much as you should do. Or what they do right now. And that'll be the same with the Alt F4 timer. You're going to have to eventually have to deal with loss. I'm sure you can still do it through support, but likely a reason and evidence for it. There will be no reason for it. You won't be, like, again, once they've fixed it where there is no, the only reason that you reset your account is if things get stuck, like Mobiglass and stuff like that. If they don't have any of these bugs, there's no reason to do it. When there was the money exploit, they actually stopped people for 10 days resetting their account, okay? And we still managed to get on with the game for 10 days. They'll just turn it off. They don't have to keep it on, and they don't have to allow you to go through support for it. They'll just tell you to get fucked. They will. Because they're not going to waste support time on you losing your armor or something like that. By the time they remove the character reset, they'll have thrown in store, flare, recovery. They might have something like that. Again, most of the things right now are just placeholders to just sort of get on with the game as easy as it is, you know, without too many complications. But there will get a stage where CIG will rip that band-aid off and you're just going to have to accept it. Like, you're not going to be backspacing, teleporting yourself across the game. You're not going to be blowing your ship up and reclaiming it within 5 minutes. All these things will eventually go away from the game, where when you go to reclaim your ship, you could be waiting 2 days to get your ship back. Oh, you want to rearm your missiles? Guess what? It's going to be like 60k to rearm your missiles and your ammo, and your fuel's not going to be 50, 60 UEC. It's going to be hundreds of thousands of UEC. And you're going to have to wait hours to refuel your ship, because again, everything right now is just casual mode to get on with development. But they've showcased many times where when you take the training wheels off Star Citizen, people are gonna freak out, man. It has to feel, yeah, exactly. So, loss has to be the end game of Star Citizen, not your wealth, not the losing of your cargo, not your assets and stuff. It's the idea of, ah, shit, I've lost something. I've spent this amount of time, and because I was lazy or I didn't bother to check my surroundings, I didn't pack my lunch, you know? And this is the knock-on effect that you have to have in this game. Because if you don't have loss, you just have people playing the game going, oh, I'm being attacked by an NPC. Alright, Alt F4. There we go. Oh, I've lost my cargo. Who cares? I'll just respawn, you know? That's what the mentality will be like in the future, because nobody will care. The game has to have some sort of lost loophole, or it becomes very, very boring. This stuff won't go away for a long time. It actually will go away a lot faster than you think, Ray. A lot faster than you think. Because again, all the stuff that we have right now is just to prevent you from having to spend a bit of time in the game. But if they have it where there's no more 30Ks because you automatically mesh into another server, right? Then you don't lose your cargo. When you have the PES system that holds things in place for a period of time, depending on how much it calls in and stuff, this gets rid of all those things. When you have the no ability to Alt F4, because the game says, sorry, you're not allowed to leave whilst under combat, you get to the point where you have to start playing the game a little bit more logically and not just, you know, crashing into things and not giving a shit. And it will go away faster than people think. Because it's starting to get to the point where everyone is forgetting what this game was all about. And they think that what we have right now is the actual game. And they freak out the moment... You guys remember, it was at the end of last year or something like that. They decided to change the insurance timers on certain ships, where instead of waiting 5 minutes, you had to wait 7 minutes. And people lost their shit. Absolutely lost their shit when they, like, say they were going to wait for a constellation for 30 minutes and it went to 45 minutes. They went fucking mental. And CIG had to revert it back because people just went crazy. This is where you have to get CIG to rip that band-aid off and get to the point where it's like, sorry guys, this ain't changing. This is how the game's meant to be. You know? People are already stopping playing Ray, right? That's a big factor. People are already stopping to play the game, dude, with the bugs and already in it. So who the fuck cares if a few extra more leave, right? You have to get to that stage where the mentality is gone from the community. That you're not just being able to play the game in bubble wrap mode, band-aid mode. You know what I mean? If we lose 40% player bases, who the fuck cares? We've got their money already. They'll come back. But it has to get to the stage where loss becomes a factor of the game. Glitch, thank you very much for the sub, dude. Sorry, I'll just turn these on. Let me just skip all the bots. There we go. Thank you, dude. It's a hard thing to balance, I think. It's very hard to balance it. But again, there will need to be, when we get to different stages of Star Citizen, they have to take the band-aid off. Because again, if you don't get rid of these band-aids as soon as possible, it's the same thing as when people are now complaining about Alt F4s. Now, people have been Alt F4ing for years. It's just that you're starting to see it more often now that people are freaking out about it. But CIG have been neglecting the fact that Alt F4ing should have been solved from the very beginning, right? The moment that you have an aggression timer, you shouldn't have been able to run away and leave the server like people are doing so now. But the problem is because there's more players in the game now that the more people are seen to do it. Now CIG are having to panic and create a log-off timer because of it. Take away the band-aids as much as you can with making still the game playable. But if somebody has to wait 2 extra minutes to reclaim their ship because that's how it's meant to be intended, fuck them. Make them wait 7 minutes. Go and make yourself a cup of tea in those extra 2 minutes. Get some fresh air, stuff like that, you know? And if you're losing your 890 continuously, well, you don't lose it from a 30k anymore, so why do you care? It's all down to somebody crashing or getting killed in it, you know? People that have never played Eve, take a look how that works. Love it. Yeah, I mean Eve is obviously a very difficult game, so you know, but it has a lot of core mechanics that make a game enjoyable because it makes you actually care about your ship, your assets, you know? When somebody's flying around in Star Citizen and you die and you're like, oh, I'll just reclaim my ship, you know? You don't really care about your ship, you don't have a love for it. But if there was more loss involved where it's like, ah, right, well, you know what? I'm actually taking way more damage than I should be doing here. I think I'm going to actually warp away and go and repair my ship because, yeah, it's going to take me an hour to get my ship back if I die, you know? It becomes more of a care factor to it. The second I hit the follow button against someone else. Sorry, dude. I'll put this down here. The guide's words was, we have been on this system for the last 5 years, now we're moving to a brand new system. I don't know, I think sometimes CIG sort of drop the ball in certain areas. They think they can just not deal with these things and then it happens, you know? Again, it's not much to get rid of the band-aids in Star Citizen. It's just people do massively abuse it. Like, for example, I can see say a player, 5 players are coming towards me and they've not even engaged. I can do this, and this is very, very broken, I feel. You know? I can literally dodge conflict by just going back to the menu, reclaiming my ship. I have free arrows, free builds. I've got no loss, right? That needs to change. It should not just be where I just press a reclaim and I get everything back. Like nothing happened. That can't continue. Sorry, it just can't. Getting some reports that even though people sub in Twitch, they still see ads. Well, I've got it all disabled on my channel, so if Twitch is doing shenanigans like that, there's nothing I can do about it. I literally have it where if you're a subscriber, it disables ads. I imagine there will be a countdown timer for when you exit the game. There'll be a lot of things like that, yeah. Again, I think For me, I would like to see CIG rip off some more of the band-aids. I think they should make it where refueling, rearming is more expensive. You know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid that I can literally damage my ship and it only costs me like a couple hundred UEC to repair, rearm it, you know? That just does not seem correct. If you see ads, you should reload the page. Oh, if you're a sub, yeah. Exactly. If you see ads, just subscribe and the ads go away. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I'll be so glad when I can get rid of this particularly cough from COVID. It's a bugger like. However, there's a lot of cool things. Also, Banu Merchantman. I'm hoping we'll see the Banu Merchantman by the end of this year on PT. That is one ship I'm very, very excited for, and I was never excited about it to begin with. But ever since it got that fucking super duper upgrade for 250 bucks, you get a capital ship, a med bay, a hangar, lots of cargo space. What a bargain, like. Yo, Sol, thank you very much for the prime, dude. Appreciate that, Chief. Before you was turning your alerts on and you mentioned bots, is that them Twitch usernames with the 3 letters, 9 numbers, and yeah. I just ignore them, Tomo. Like, here's the thing, guys. Here is the thing. These bots eventually get disappeared. A lot of people will go and do like unfollowing scripts. Don't fucking care. Twitch do not give a shit about bots following your channel or anything like that, so you just ignore them. They eventually go away. Twitch eventually deals with it, so I think you should make an ad for your channel and play it when people complain about ads. No, like, again, if anyone talks about ads, I just press this button there. Again, I'm sorry that it stops your viewing time, but thank you for paying my bills, you know? I've been banning them all. Didn't want to get banned by him. You will never get banned for having... You can't help when bots follow you, Tomo, right? You don't need to do jack shit. You just don't acknowledge them, right? So what I did was I just skipped all the pop-ups, right? Because again, I'm on like 12,671 right now. In 5 days, it'll drop by like 10 follows or something like that. Because they get deleted, you know? It's all good. Hey, Reformed, how you doing, Chief? Miss Tuvo, good day to you. Thank you again for the 20 months, Reformed. Appreciate that, dude. But yeah, never care about follow bots or stuff like that. And if you get view botted, like say for example, you're sitting at like 5 viewers and then it goes up to like 200, all you do is just send a support ticket to Twitch and say, look, somebody's fucking view botting me. It's nothing to do with me, I'm so sorry that it's happening. And Twitch will personally not give a shit. But it's good to let them know that it's, you know, you're aware of it. It's the same thing when somebody is on VoIP and they say like the N-word and stuff like that. There's nothing I can do about that. But if I apologize at the second that it happens and mute the person in-game, nothing, you won't ever get banned by Twitch because of it. Because again, you can't prevent somebody doing that to you. But if you apologize and make it aware to the channel that you know it's happened and you don't just ignore it, Twitch like that, you know? They're like, well, again, it's all you can do. It's like sometimes I'll say words like, I might say the R word by accident, and that's frowned upon these days. And I will apologize when I use it, you know? It slips out of the tongue. It's not that, you know, I use the word continuously, but these things happen, you know? You don't need to worry about it, Tomo. Again, people will always follow bots and all that jazz. Again, follows mean absolutely fuck all, right? People get excited about them. They're like, oh my god, I got 10,000 followers. It's like, yeah, you've also got 80% bots watching your channel. Whoop-de-fucking-do, right? You don't actually have 10,000 people giving a shit about you. This is the reality check a lot of content creators need to hear. That follows mean absolutely fuck all. Because you have no idea if it's a bot or a real person or it's just somebody wanting to get involved in your giveaways. That's the same thing as when you're highlighting that you've got giveaways on the channels. You know what I mean? It's not somebody coming and watch your content, by the way. It's somebody coming to get that free goodies off your channel. Well, anyway, Alpha. I mean, that's up to wherever. We don't have it on this channel, so that's that. All I care about is getting to 50 followers one day. Oh, to get the thing, yeah. Hey, if those 10,000 bots were subbed, yeah, I would be happy, right? Who wouldn't be happy? 10,000 bots subbing to you? Generous, man. I think it's interactions that make your stream, maybe, but that's from someone with little... For me, like, I'm probably one of the very few content creators in the Star Citizen category that literally gives a shit about the simpiness of people in the Star Citizen category, right? You see it with the female streamers. There's a lot of fucking cringy guys come into their channel and like, notice me, here, have 20 subs, notice me, say my fucking name out. It's so sad, right? Grow some fucking spines and balls, like. And then you have people that will literally completely cover their streams in cake, so you're completely distracted that they don't have any content on the go and stuff like that. I'm just different. I literally just talk to you like I would talk to my mother, right? Nice hair, you are beautiful. Thank you, I appreciate that, Scarlett. People being there, chatting, coming back for what matters. Exactly, dude. Like, I never expect any one of my viewers or somebody that supports me to be here every second of every day. You know what I mean? I just don't care about that. It's the same when people are like, oh, I unfollowed, I'm refollowing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You do you. You ain't gonna get any more attention out of me just because you unfollow or you unsub and then you resub and shit like that. I don't give a fuck, boys. Alright? I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your income. But that's as far as you get with me. You can fucking put all your money on cards on the table and start spamming $100 fucking gifts and stuff like that. It won't change shit. I'll just take the money. I found myself really good for a really good team from streaming without it would be flying solo. So yeah, sometimes it's good to have like a wee group of people that you stream with and stuff like that. Especially like if you've got low viewership or people are not typing in chat. There's times where I've got like 200 people watching me and nobody fucking types shit in chat because people are just all lurking at that stage, you know? It's good to have people in comms sometimes when that happens because you keep the ball going, you know? You're talking away and stuff, then somebody asks you a question in chat and stuff like that. I've noticed a lot, like when you're watching streamers starting off, this is advice to anyone. When you've got your chat right and your chat's not moving, stop doing this, right? Every like 30 seconds, checking out chat, you know, just play the fucking game, right? Play the game, talk to yourself. It's very easy to talk to yourself. But every time you're constantly watching your chat channel to see if somebody fucking responds to you, it's unhealthy as fuck, like. Just don't care. Don't care if you're streaming for one person or 20 fucking thousand people. Just do the exact same thing that you would do for everything, you know? Take away the numbers, take away all the guessing stuff, because it does makes people fucking sick. And one of the other things as well is if you're actually watching your chat and you see people coming in and stuff, don't be like, hey, yo, I see you in the chat channel lurking. What's up? It's like, maybe that person just wants to come in and just fucking lurk. Let them lurk. Stop being a cringy fucking creator and doing that shit. Because that shit makes me leave channels. The moment I jump into somebody's channel and they're fucking monitoring their viewer list, and they're like, oh, TheDarkLaw, how you doing, dude? I'm like, alright, unfollow, bye. I won't ever come back to your channel because you did that shit. It's not fucking cool to call out people that just want to sit and lurk, like. I didn't watch it, Hero. I'll probably wait for my boy, Noobifier to make his video on it. Like, I generally don't watch the live shows these days because, well, I just can't deal with it, personally. That's why Noobifier is the best, like, he gets rid of all that bullshit stuff. Thank you to you, Monster, I appreciate it, dude. It still sucks though, like, I've got still a bit of fatigue and I still got this, like, weird fucking random cough that appears out of nowhere. Very tickly sort of here and stuff, but that's I think we've done pretty well, like. Yeah, Noobifier is a blessing, like, to get that stuff. Like, for me, I can't sit and, like, I appreciate Star Citizen and CIG going through for like 45 minutes, like Jared doing the interview, the guys on today are from Turbulent and they're spending their time. I massively have a lot of respect for the developers that do that. Alright, that's why we're not getting chased. There's no comm right here. Fuck's sake. Somebody's turned off. But I personally can't sit for 45 minutes and listen to that stuff. With Board Gamer, like, Board Gamer is I will watch his stuff when I have time, but it's one of the main reasons why I always go back to Noobifier stuff, because it's the no bullshit cut, you know, get straight to the point kind of information that I'm looking for. Like, Board Gamer's information is basically, like, perfect if I'm, like, having dinner at the desk or something like that, and I have Board Gamer up on one monitor and then I'm doing work on the other one as well. That's the time that I'll listen to his stuff. Today's SE showed there lots of explaining, lots of complaining. Yeah, the community's always gonna complain about things, man. No joke, I just kind of feel like most of the community just need to go and get fucking pegged, right? Because it feels like they're so fucking tense up their assholes all the time. Just go and get pegged. If you've got a fucking partner, just go and ask them to put a strap on and go to fucking town, like. Relieve some of that tension and that's it, right? It's not gay. It's just relieving some of that stress. But everyone seems to be so fucking crazily stressed these days. Board is soft viewing, noob is on the loo cooking. Yeah, true. But that's the same with most YouTube content, right? You're looking for that 10-20 minute fix to have with your coffee and toilet break and stuff like that. And you just want a little more detail. Board Gamer is good. Yeah, Board Gamer stuff's really good. I think generally out of all the content creators, and this is not to be like belittle them and stuff like that, I generally only watch Noobifier, Board Gamer kind of content. I got no time for somebody else's fucking nonsense, like, you know. I just don't give a shit about other content creators' opinions, you know. It's the same with anyone though. I only want the information that's given. I don't want your fucking opinion on that information. I want the Gen 12 render. Oh, I know. I am looking forward to seeing how this Gen 12 stuff goes. Very, very excited. Because obviously it shouldn't affect my PC, but it should affect other people's PCs a lot more. So they'll get higher FPS and stuff like that. So, yeah. We do have a lot of cool tech coming out from CIG for the end of the year. I just hope it just doesn't derail and go too crazy. Gen 12, that's the Boris hair thing? No, it basically means that lower CPUs handle the game better than things just now reformed. So if you're somebody that has like 20 FPS, you might get 30, 40 FPS when all the Gen 12 stuff is in. And then for somebody like me who has a high-end PC, you might see 510 FPS and stuff like that. So really, really cool stuff. We won't notice the major stuff until Vulkan is added in. And we move off DirectX 11 into Vulkan. That's going to be just fucking woo! That's gonna be so dope, man. I can't wait to see how that goes.
ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
That is gonna be some seriously crazy upgrade. And I don't know if we'll see it next year though. Maybe we will.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
Because whenever you play a game that, like Doom had Vulkan. Has anyone played the recent Doom game? I didn't play it, but the difference in watching it in like DirectX 12 to Vulkan mode is just mind-blowing.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Yeah, 318 is getting quite a bit of Gen 12 added in. It's the Vulkan stuff I'm mostly interested in for the future. It's gonna just be... Like, when everyone's like, oh, by the time Star Citizen comes out, it'll be so outdated. You fucking what, mate? They do this game in 8K textures, and they have it so fucking toned down right now because it would just explode people's PCs on the current technology and stuff like that. The moment you've got Vulkan, you've got all the Gen 12 in, they fucking up the scale of the textures back up to 8K. Yeah. This game will not look old by the time it comes out.
All systems online.
And even then, like, what are you expecting from a game, right? Where are we going here?
You are clear to launch.
They can always do a graphic overhaul. Even Eve had... Dude, when Eve did its graphics overhaul for, like, missiles and stuff... Now, I played Eve from 2003 to 2012, and I think they did the missile stuff in 2009 or 2010, and I was just like... What the utter fuck? It literally just changed the game completely, because you used to play Eve with no sound to get better FPS, and then they brought out all the upgrades, and it was insane, man. Absolutely insane. So yeah, again, CIG can easily do this in the future. Do they need to? I don't think they do. Has anyone seen this metal game that's out where it's like Doom, but you have to kill monsters to the beat? It's kind of demonic and stuff like that. I was watching, we raided Sai yesterday, she was playing it. That fucking game looks badass, like. But more importantly, the soundtrack for Hellslinger. I really want to know one of the songs, like. Do they have an album? Is there an album you can play?
Bogey.
Oh, Bogey. Maybe this is it. Not sure if this is it or not. The one side played, yeah.
Quantum drive is now off.
No, that's not it. Oh, I would love to find the album. Find the album, chat. And we'll shift it over to that. How to find the album playlist. Or if it's on Spotify. What's that? No. I could either. They not have a music playlist. That's annoying. I hoping they would. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, we definitely gone a bit too far. Heavy metal movie. How do I find this? I mean, let's have a look here. Metal Hell Slinger album. Alright, here. What's this? Let's have a look. Yeah, this is what I want. Thinking, can I get the OST? Would be cool. Hell Singer OST. Me? Nope. God damn it. God damn it. Alright, chat. Trying to. I'm looking at the actual Twitch. hellsinger.com. Do you have any details? The game looked pretty cool, actually. Reform, sorry. Yeah, that's it. But I need to. Yeah, I suppose we'll try it. Kind of want it on Spotify so I can control it better. Yeah, I need to find this for our actual playlist, like. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's a good playlist. Good playlist. Yeah, it's so dope, man. Again, the game is pretty interesting how you've got to kill to the beat, which I really like the idea of, right? Yeah, see, that's the beat that I'm looking for, right? Can't wait for the cloud changes. The only thing is, again, it's just I can't change it on Spotify, which sucks, man. Ugh. Put this on for a bit. I need to be able to regulate it. I just can't do that from here. What did you find on Spotify? Cool. I'll have a look at that, dude. All that you used to be. Ah, the bots are back. The bots are back. What's our time? It's coming for 6 o'clock, right? I forgot we started so late today. Oh, they're going ham again. Is the... Is it Orison still today? Or was maybe the other one? Not the OC, but some good ones in similar style. And BPAM. Yeah, I'll probably have to just look up the whole thing and do my own playlist for it. It won't be today though. Stars isn't so quiet yet. We're actually going. Not a lot of the individual tracks. Yeah, but you could just pull them from YouTube if need be. Again, it's not that big of a deal. Not a big a deal.
Bottom drive.
I wish jump time was on, guys. Like, I just can't do Orison, knowing that in a few weeks we're going to be reset completely. Like, the whole idea of making money in Star Citizen is just like, what's the point? in 4 weeks' time, we'll all be reset, and Reputation's getting reset as well. I'm actually looking forward to that one the most. We'll do instantly grinding for some of that, get some money. On Jumptown 1.0, so do I, guys. I would love Jumptown, original Jumptown right now. I don't know why they couldn't have had original Jumptown on and just made it where you didn't make as much money as new Jumptown, for example. That would have been cool. Hopefully we'll hear Evocati this weekend. That would make me very, very happy. Not that I'm in Evocati, it's just... if I know that Free 18 goes into Evocati, it means that's underway. We'll see PTU within a few weeks. Right now, it's definitely quiet. Back in my day, Grimhex had no QT marker. Yeah, that's mine as well. I actually enjoyed that. When Grimhex you had to discover, I really liked that. I did enjoy that. It made Grimhex special, because you couldn't warp to your teammates back then, if I remember as well. Yeah. The days of Star Citizen have gone. It was funny that within sort of free 4, free 5, there was so much fighting in the game, and then it's just ever since they extended to like Microtech and then ArcCorp, ArcCorp then Microtech, the game just got so way more bigger, and it was funny how it just dispersed. And this is why, like, even if they added in Pyro, it's not gonna change anything unless they have server meshing connected to it. The more places you add, the less people you're gonna see, unless there's a way to mesh people together. And that's my biggest fear for Pyro, is that they don't add in whatever technology they're wanting to put in for meshing and stuff like that, and you will literally go into Pyro and you'll never see anyone. It'll be a completely empty playground. Yeah, I hope Cryastro actually comes back. I like, for me, I personally wish like Shubin, you couldn't just rearm repair on these locations. You actually had to go to place. So if you wanted to rearm repair, you would camp a Cryastro, for example. I think that would be a really good move for CIG, because it would inflict conflict and just make it where there's no Armistice, right? Make it where if you want to have safe refueling repair, you go back to your hangar in a truck stop or something like that, right? But have a location, like one location on each moon or something like that, and make it where there's no Armistice zone. That would be dope. That would be very, very cool. Because then you could control the refueling point and then force people to maybe use Starfares. Because nobody uses it, man. Nobody uses Starfares to refuel people. Ever since that came out, like at the start of this year. Have you seen the tiny little heli drones the military have? Yeah, you can also buy them now for like super cheap price. Somebody was actually building them. Obviously not of the same technology, but it looks exactly like it. Which was pretty cool. Little mini drones. I wish I had the money right now to go and get the new DJI Avia one. Looks really, really good. It's like £1,200 for all the kit. I just don't have that. No way. No way can I spend that. I mean, I've got the money. It's just I'm not spending it on a drone like that. Yeah, this is so scuffed, man. We literally have had zero interaction all day. This is where they need to send NPCs to go after criminals. Like, I just don't understand why they can't just send like a couple of fighters to chase after you a couple of times, you know? So daft. And not send hammerheads, cause like seriously, like when a hammerhead chases after a crime 5, it's just a joke, man. Just send like 5 fighters. This is the problem when we get to this stage, so like you've got like a month until 318. The game just gets so quiet. Every single time it happens this way. It's the craziest thing, man. And especially when we know that we're getting wiped in 318, why would you play 317? This is where jump time would have been way more fun, I think. Look up my comment? What do you mean? Look up my comments? I looked at it, did. Wait. Oh, one. Oh, right. There you see. The new avatar. Yeah, I'm interested with that drone, but I don't have the money to go and get like the headset and stuff like that right now. But that little drone looks perfect for like doing stuff with the dogs and recording and stuff like that. A lot smaller than their the one that came out last year, which looked really good. Plus, I like the idea that that little drone, you can sort of bang it off things. I was watching a video on somebody who was banging it off like walls and stuff, and it looked really sturdy actually. Really nice. Playing mainly DCS. For me, when I'm not streaming, I'm just pretty much catching up on programs like now, like Lord of the Rings and the House of the Dragon stuff. I with the way I'm feeling, I just don't have the mentality to start another game right now. Too drained. However, next week we've got the plate coming from Monster Tech, which means that I can unbox the throttle from Verpal that they sent to showcase to you guys, and we'll be setting that up. So we'll have throttle, dual joystick pedals, we'll be able to play DCS World, but I would imagine by then 318 is going to be out. We'll see how busy. 318 might get to the point where I just play a little bit of Star Citizen and then we switch over to DCS World flying. Maybe some VR, like, since I've lost quite a bit of weight from COVID, I could do some more VR stuff. There's meant to be a really good John Wick game that's really realistic, built off using Alex as a mod. Does look really, really good. You buy a plane in DCS? Yeah. Well, I would buy an F-14. I would buy an F-14 if I was gonna play DCS. Hardest one, one of the hardest ones to learn, but it's my favorite plane. Unless you talk about F-22, but I don't think you're gonna see them in DCS World anytime soon. The moment you add in like full F-22 kind of setup, that's it, you know. F-18s and stuff go right out the window. Super hot? No, there's a few VR games I want to get into, which I'm looking forward to. VR games are a great way to relax for me. Love that whole idea of being Ready Player One kind of scenario, you know. I hope I live long enough to actually see video games turn into that. It's like what, 20 years from now, so I'll be like 60. I actually should be able to do that. Yeah, and the great thing with VR or like a virtual reality like that is I don't need to be physically strong in real life. I just need to have a good mentality, right? I become the super old man Saiyan. Hey, Strongbeard, how you doing, Chief? We were supposed to get hoverboards in 2015. I know. Yep. Good old hoverboards. I'm still waiting for that tech. Saying that though, you can actually pretty do it now with drones. You can build like a drone into a board and it flies. You get those cool things that go, it's like those wakeboards that propel you above the water. They look fucking dope as well, man. Also, I would love to have a shot of that like shark boat thing that dives underwater. It's like, it looks like a shark, two-seater. It's like a little jet fighter for the water. That looks so dope, man. I love watching technology videos like that where you get these cool like aggressive sports. I was also watching the so like the UK Mountain Force have these new like sort of hover sorry chat, the hover sort of nozzle things to get like a fast responder up a mountain really fast to help somebody in need. I was like, shit, I could do that. I'll be a first responder with a fucking jetpack. All the way up the fucking mountain. Be awesome. You ever smacked yourself in the head with a drone? I would kill myself if I had skateboards attached. No, I've not. And all I can say is Mongoose Freeze from Verpal with the dry clutch is just an experience and a half, like, for Star Citizen. And I've used pretty much every base joystick for this game. And I would have to say this is definitely the most legit experience I've had, where it's just heavy, smooth. Don't have to wiggle your arms around like crazy. And you get this insane precision. makes me excited for the future of Star Citizen. With aerodynamics and stuff like that. I look forward to seeing what Yogi and the team achieve. I think it's going to piss off a lot of people, but for me, I think it's going to be so dope. Life tip, do not buzz the tower when you are the tower. Yep, would be a good idea. Now, today has definitely been a quiet day, guys, that's for sure. Hopefully tomorrow might be a little bit busier. I'm gonna try and get on a bit earlier. Maybe like 9 or 10 for Saturday. Because today is just super quiet, man. Not for the channel, just the game. Like, I don't think I've seen a single person on Daymar today. Yesterday we had so many people. Well, not really, actually, there wasn't that many. So quiet though. Hey, Novi. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna just leave it there. There's no point smashing my fucking head off things when I'm feeling sick. Right, let's see what we got. What we dealing with? Yeah, you know what? I'm literally in the mood. I'm not even gonna raid. I'm just gonna head off. We'll just leave it there, chat. But yeah, thank you very much for spending some time. I'm sorry it's been so quiet. Nothing on the go. No interaction. Nothing. Today has been a strange Friday, that's for sure. A strange Friday. But anyway, have a great weekend, guys. Hopefully, tomorrow, I'll get on a bit earlier and we can get some fun, if there is any fun. But yeah, I think most people are just not playing the game until 318, which is fair enough and all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you for spending time with me, Reformed, Glitch, Borden. Thank you very much, guys. I got more ads and couldn't hear you again. You shouldn't be getting ads that way, dude. Shouldn't be getting ads. I think everyone is getting ready for the lockdown. The lockdown? Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Anyway, guys, Reform, Glitch, Zaman, appreciate you guys for being here. Again, I'm not going to raid anyone. I'm just going to cut it. Because I just ain't in the mood. Look at all those bots. Look at those bots. Beautiful bots. I'll catch you tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much for spending time. Strongbeard, Zaman, Dusky. Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a good weekend.